Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel at Son of a Gun Gourmet. In this video, I'm going to be making a tasty trout dish, but the main focus is going to be on how to make parsnip puree. It's an awesome side that could end up being the star of many dishes. As always, remember to like and subscribe, and let's start cooking. These are all the ingredients you're going to need for the parsnip puree. Start by peeling your parsnips. Remove the tops and then cut them into large pieces, all roughly the same size. Parsnips make such a nice puree to me because of their slight sweetness and their texture. Raw parsnip almost feels spongy and it absorbs fat very well when being cooked. That's why I like to boil them and other starchy vegetables in cream rather than water. They'll soak up that fat from the cream and become very rich. Add 3 peeled cloves of garlic. Next, add a cup and a half of 35% cream, or enough cream so that the vegetables are almost covered. Turn the stove to medium-high heat and season with salt. Once the cream comes up to a boil, turn the heat to low and partly cover the saucepan. Keep it at a simmer until the parsnips are very tender, about 15 minutes. Now that the parsnips are cooked, transfer them and the garlic to a blender and save the cream on the side. Start blending and slowly add back some cream. Only pour in enough cream for the parsnips to be able to mix. Let the puree go until it's completely smooth. Check the seasoning, and if you want to give the puree a nice shine, add a couple knobs of butter to finish it off. And with a puree this smooth, you could do a spoon push that would make any chef proud. Now let's get to the rest of the dish. Separate the leaves and stems of 1 bunch of Swiss chard. Roll all the leaves up together and give them a rough chop. The stems are quite fibrous. It's best to fine dice them. Now that our greens are ready to go, it's time to move on to the trout. Season both sides with salt. I butchered this trout in a previous video. If you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out. Add a bit of oil to a hot pan and then start searing your fish. Remember to lay the fish in the pan away from you, so that if the oil splashes, it's not on you. Once you've got a good sear on the skin, flip over the trout and then butter baste it until it's done. Now, of course, you don't need to butter baste your trout, but it'll give the fish a nice crispy skin and so much more flavor than baking or steaming, because after all, fat is flavor. Once the fish is done, just let it rest for a couple minutes. For the Swiss chard, again, we're going to start in a hot pan with some oil. Add the diced stems and let them cook out. Add a pinch of salt to season, but also because it will release some of the water from the Swiss chard. Once they're tender, you could add the leaves to the pan. Once the pan's hot again, add a couple knobs of butter. Throw in a splash of water or vegetable stock if you have it on hand. I'm not looking to cook the greens out too hard, I just want them to wilt in the pan a little bit. Once they're wilted, season them up and take them off. And that's the dish. None of these components are hard to make, but when they're cooked correctly, they come together to make a simply wonderful meal. Remember to like, subscribe, and keep on cooking.